Okay, I think we're good now. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. We have something interesting to talk about today. Another Ethan Klein debate. He's really getting in the debating mood for the start of the year. We'll see if that continues through 2026. And I have a big question for everybody that I'm about to put a poll up for. Who won the debate? Was it Ethan? I guess I'll put his full name. Was it Ethan Klein? Was it Death Noodles? Or the people of California? Or was it a net loss for everyone? So that's Ethan Klein, Death Noodles, the people of California, or a net loss for everyone. Who won the debate? So let's see. I have to say, I listened to the whole debate yesterday. It was a bit grating. I also listened to some of the conversation between Harley and girl with a microphone, Kate, as well. And I thought that they had a very nice conversation. I have a few different points that I'd like to make, and we're actually going to watch through a few timestamps that I have that I picked out that I think are kind of good places to start for each talking point. Because there is a bit of a, just there's a lot of fluff, I will say. It was a little cringe. Yeah, so let me put this debate up and you tell me. I tapped out after 10 minutes. I have to say, I'm a little disappointed in Ethan's performance. While I think Ethan definitely outpaced Def Noodles, it was pretty easy considering Def Noodles just without even prompting stated things like, we should publicly execute sex offenders. And it's like, okay, if you want to talk about what the punishment should be, maybe we can have a conversation, but public executions are insane. Ethan was quite focused on not losing Dennis as a potential friend. Yeah, and I think that's kind of got to go out the window. Because, I mean, on some level, you shouldn't lose friends based on politics. You should be able to have these contentious arguments and be able to then, go get a pizza and a beer with after or something, You should, those things shouldn't, be, completely so distant from each other. Haven't finished the After Dark either. Well, we'll kind of just jump right into it. I used the AI just a little bit because I was like, can you give me a bit of the talking points? Because I was trying to skim back through it after listening to the whole thing. And I was like, oh no. But then I used it to just kind of float around and find my own timestamps. So here we go. We're going to start off with just the start of the conversation.
Into it. Mm-hmm. Well, I want to ask you, the politics thing, because you seem to be like very conservative in your views.
Yeah.
Have you always been like that?
So I was always a registered independent. I was always Christian, and my value.
Yeah, and like I'm saying, I'm kind of skipping through a lot of the fluff. The beginning was kind of them just kind of being like, we used to be buddies. Let's get into the meat here.
It was always came from my Christian morality, right? The issue with that is, and I think a lot of Christians relate to this, there was a time, and I think from around 2016 up until about 2021, 22, where a lot of Christians felt their empathy was coerced, right? Because that's one of the things that we talk about in the church. We preach, right? Love your neighbor, do all that stuff. And there are a lot of people that, in essence, were moved to a side of the political spectrum or to empathize with things.
You think Christians were coerced into becoming left?
Not necessarily left, but just to empathize with certain ideas that aren't
like
core. I'd go as far to say as though accepting gay marriage, for example.
Yeah,
that's not that's not church doctrine.
Too many Christians are accepting gay marriage.
At this point,
I just have to say, to start with, that is kind of crazy. I think that he's trying too hard to appeal to too many groups. You know what I mean? It's like he wants to have this broad appeal, but is at the same time trying to appeal to like the LGBT community in some way, like in certain statements that he makes about like, well, it's the law. Like that's him trying to appeal to the community, it feels like. but then on the other hand, wanting to appeal to Christians by upholding Christian values in terms of how you define marriage. But I'll go into how I feel about it a little bit more when he kind of outlines it a bit, because I am a bit confused when it comes to what policy he supports, like where he would align himself there.
There are so many. I mean, yesterday I was at UCLA debating, and this girl came up to me and she said that she's Catholic and she's pro-choice. And that specifically, I mean, she can have whatever opinion she wants.
Didn't the Pope change?
No,
he didn't give his.
There's still, and we still do in the Catholic
Church. So you,
Church,
just to be clear, you are against gay marriage.
I mean, and it's one of those things where, like, Catholicism basically created this outline of abortion being murder and, like, you know, breaking one of the main commandments. I don't remember which one it is, but you get what I'm saying. And it is just, I don't know, appealing to a specific religion. I don't mind necessarily people following religions. That's no problem. But when you appeal to it for your, like, moral code and, like, your ethical framework, I'm definitely going to have more of an issue with it when you want to get into politics. That's the specific, like, kind of context, though. Believe whatever you want and have your own worldview, but as soon as you're trying to get into politics, I'm going to draw my conclusion based on your, like, personal beliefs a bit more, because obviously that's going to create somewhat of a bias.
So the state has decided it. You know, I follow church doctrine, which is
you don't care about law. You care more about church doctrine.
No. I care about law. So that's the whole thing. It's been decided. Obergefell and Joe Biden. You know, I forget what the name of the bill is, but it's
getting into politics, really learning him. He should get one of these. The Supreme Court landmark decisions. I think it's Obergefell Hodges. I haven't read. I literally read this a while back. Yeah, so Obergefell Hodges. I was right. I could be a politician. I'm next up.
It's been enshrined, right?
Yeah.
It's been it's law.
Yeah.
But as far as recognizing what marriage is, I follow that what God basically said, that marriage is between a man and a woman, and the primary purpose is procreation.
Right. So do you think that it's like is it sacrilege? What's your opinion on?
Here's where I immediately kind of felt like there was an issue here. Ethan is missing the actual question that he should be asking, because it isn't, is it sacrilegious? How do you feel about the law based on your religious beliefs? Because then he's just going to keep saying, I agree with the law. In the Bible, it says that you have to follow the law. I think he does say that at one point where he says, like, Jesus says, give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, give unto God what is God's. But the whole thing is, as a politician, are you going to try and enforce your religious beliefs through policy? And if not, how do you feel about not being able to uphold your religious values on a broad scale in this way? And in, like, some would say, going against your religious values by supporting whatever your the people who whatever the votes say, because he's saying, like, I'm for the people. So if you're for the people, if the people vote to, like, keep abortion in place, like keep abortion laws just like in place for your district in Los Angeles, are you going to be okay with that morally? Like, what is your moral stance on that? And because I do think that's interesting, but obviously he's just going to say there's a separation between the two. But does that separation matter to you at all? Because obviously I think that most people are going to try and at least you're not necessarily trying to instill values into the populace or whatever, but you might try and outline your own beliefs in the hopes that people that voted for you will agree with your stances. And so you should at least outline what your stances are on these things. Death Noodles is so soy, bro. Just go back to the commentary videos. Bro was wearing an Anissa cat ear headset. Yeah, I mean, they got him to do it. He's trying to also play that too. Like, I'm cool with whatever. It was all a joke. We'll get to all of that. I think from the beginning, everything was a bit wonky. And Ethan asked him, like, straight up, like, how do we believe you in any way? If we couldn't believe you before, how do we believe you now? But I don't know. It's all kind of just a wash, in my opinion. There was a noticeably egregious lack of Dan yesterday. He was sick on Monday, I think, right? Is he still sick, possibly? Opinion automatically is invalid on the basis of the cat ear headphones. Fair enough.
On like the Supreme Court ruling that like marriage anyone can get married.
Well,
I mean, to consenting adults.
Yeah, I don't think the state has a right to define what marriage is, because it's, it has defined it, but I don't think it has a right to do it. That's ultimately what I believe.
But what about?
And also, I think Ethan misses this point too, that we don't need to talk about, like, because what you're talking about there is literally just the words. Like, are you really just having a semantic issue with it being called marriage? If it is strictly called a civil union, do you not care at that point? Because the whole issue is we're allowing like tax benefits and stuff for people that are, couple. And obviously it depends, because sometimes it's better to stay divorced, sometimes it's better to be a couple. It depends on where you live. But if we don't allow the opportunity for gay couples the same as straight couples, then it is quite obviously like impeding them in some way based upon these inalienable traits. Wearing his politics costume, as Harley put it. Yeah, it is. Do we think it's a clip-on tie? Doesn't look like it.
Separation church and state. That is a thing, right?
He did only do a half Windsor, though. He's not a true professional.
That's ultimately what I believe.
But what about separation church and state? That is a thing, right?
Yeah, so that's how we get to function the way that we're functioning. There's a separation, right? The
state says you can get married.
Yeah.
And then but
I don't have to recognize it. I don't have to personally recognize it. You can lawfully get married.
Legally, you do have to recognize it.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
like if a gay couple comes in, let's say like this guy who's making a cake, like a gay couple comes in, you got to serve them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's that case is a little strange because there are religious exemptions for certain things.
Yeah, but
in that case, the guy was targeted. He and there are other businesses that have been targeted as well, so that they can create a legal precedent.
So do you think gay marriage should be illegal?
No.
I'm confused onto what that statement is. There are certain businesses that were targeted to try and create a precedent. So you're saying there's religious exemption for what? There should be religious exemption to like deny service to individuals based on certain traits. That's the part I don't get. I don't understand what he was trying to say there.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Like let me see if I can.
In that case, the guy was targeted. He and there are other businesses that have been targeted as well, so that they can create a legal precedent.
So do you?
Because if they are discriminating against people, let's say it plainly. If they are discriminating against people, shouldn't they be targeted in some way? And again, you're saying targeted to create precedent, which isn't. like, I don't know. And again, he talks about like the retroactives of creating laws and stuff like that later on, and so that also is interesting because I don't know. I feel like he's speaking very generally and kind of in vague ways a lot of the time, as a politician should.
You think gay marriage should be illegal?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying that the law has been defined already.
Okay.
And for example, as a congressperson, I'd be there to represent the people in my district, not to rewrite
Which
law.
is extraordinarily.
So
No. What are you? No, I don't care about.
I don't
I'm
have to
asking
personally
you.
Well,
Are you cool with civil unions?
if the law defines
No,
that
not
as
the law. You.
me.
Yeah.
I'm saying I follow the law, basically.
No, but what's your opinion on two gay people teaming up and
Yeah. So that's
making a life together?
if the law has defined that in this in
Do you see what you're
California,
saying?
for
Though?
example,
You're saying you're kind of like copping out from. I feel sharing your real opinion on it because you're
No,
saying like
I've
no.
shared-
Did it cut out for a second? I think it might have. We're back? Okay.
But
Law
I've shared
says
my
this.
I've shared my opinion. My opinion is based on Christian morality that I recognize marriage as between
So
a man and
do
a
you
woman.
support civil union?
But I recognize that there are laws in place that respect that form of union, and I respect it because I follow the law. That's actually
Separately,
a commandment. That's actually a commandment from Christ to follow the law of the land. You know, when he's talking to the Pharisees, he's given a coin, and you know he says, "Give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, give unto God what is God." Right? So I recognize that, and you know I may not see it in the same way.
As a citizen, two gay people getting in a union, a union. Do you approve of that? If you've got a family member, let's say, or a son.
I mean, I have gay family members. I respect them.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they get married, then that's their thing, right? So,
See, I would like to actually have a conversation of just like, what do you think that it means for gay people to get married? Like, what you think it's just like a diluting of what marriage is in the eyes of the church? Because if it's not in the eyes of the church, why does it matter? You like most like Catholics already believe in like a corrupt world and a world that is built to corrupt, and that you have to go against the world and all this type of stuff. So I don't understand why that would necessarily matter if you define marriage in an incorrect way. Because again, it's not about just it being called marriage. It's about the actual things that are included with that.
If you were okay, I feel like you're a little bit copping out. You're saying the law says this.
yeah, because I respect the law. I follow the law. I functionally see marriage as as part of a procreative act. I see it as part.
Yeah, he did do that there. I'm not a racist. I know a black person. He does that later about being anti-Semitic too. I'm not anti-Semitic. I'm having this conversation with you right now.
Part of building a family, right? And I see it as something that's you make a covenant with God.
Gay people can have kids and raise a
Through
family.
surrogacy.
Yeah, or adoption.
Well,
and I mean adoption. I think we both agree is much needed.
I agree. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So is it okay for a gay couple to adopt?
If the state allows it, then that's
See,
what
you're
it is.
doing it again. You're not
Well,
giving
I
your
follow
true
the law.
opinion.
What's my opinion? My opinion is follow the law.
What's
That's
your
my
opinion of the law?
And then from here, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit because they kind of have a bit of a back and forth, and then get to the actual clip that matters a little bit
According
more.
to
this is
multiple
great.
peer-reviewed studies and large surveys, gay and bisexual men report significantly higher rates of childhood sexual abuse than heterosexual men. In the general male population, approximately 5 to 10% of men report experiencing childhood sexual abuse. By contrast, studies of gay and bisexual men consistently report much higher rates. According to a 2009 study of gay and bisexual men, approximately 20% reported a history of severe childhood sexual
That's
abuse,
crazy.
defined as contact abuse before the age of 8.
Ethan calls him out on this. I didn't realize how like just blatant it was that he hit a "that's crazy" during something he's saying.
18. Larger surveys
You can't react to your own clip and be like, "Yo, that guy, that's
I know.
crazy." If it's true,
No, I'm remembering that this clip is from what, 7 months ago, or when is it?
3 weeks ago, brother.
because again, we need to, and Ethan says it later on. Let me see if they say it immediately, actually, because it's about what are you trying to say with this data? Because I'm sure that he is like probably citing some data that does say that gay and bisexual male children experience that at a higher rate than straight children. But then again, it's what are we talking about? What is the actual reason that this type of thing happens? And I think Ethan at one point says, and this was again like another point where I was kind of like, you're missing the mark just a bit, because I think Ethan says something about like them having more access to children of the same sex. But I think more often the case is that children that are abused are children that are already isolated, ostracized, things like that. And so gay and bisexual children often experience the same type of, separation from their peers. And so they are often like these, targets in the same way as, other children that have similar standing. Like it's I feel like it's pretty clear that would be the case, especially in a society that looks down upon gay and bisexual, especially like people, especially children. Have I just been like this the whole time? Does it even matter? I'm too tired for this. This is why it's usually a gaming stream today. Who cares? Hey, it hasn't mattered so far in terms of views. Hey. What are you gonna do? Who cares? What, you want to see them? Rude.
How can we trust you to represent us when you can't tell the difference between 7 months and 3 weeks?
Well, because I made the initial video I made was 7 months ago, and then I made a follow-up 3.
I thought what he was trying to say is that homosexuality is a product of sexual assault, which is crazy. I've heard this exact argument before from family members. I think it's I don't think he has a very like concrete understanding of what he's saying. He's just like spewing a talking point that he's heard. And I think that it's probably used in different ways, because that's one angle that it could be used in. And then the other angle is that homosexual men also abuse children at a higher rate. It's who are the ones abusing these young men. And he asked that question to Ethan, and the answer is pedophiles. Who abuses children? Pedophiles. Some, and again, some have a preference in terms of the gender or sexuality even of the children, but it doesn't even necessarily indicate their own sexual preferences. Sometimes there are like cases of abuse from people like abusing like children of the same sex who would then still identify themselves as heterosexual. He's kind of giving Gypsy Crusader vibes, not gonna lie. A little bit. I mean, I think that he probably hopped on just all of these different Christian channels. Like, I feel like he hopped on Christian and right-wing politics YouTube and then just went in hard on that. He's saying that gay people are more likely to SA, and therefore it's that's kind of what I think he was trying to push forward, because then that's because he didn't want to say that part, but then the only extrapolation that he was able to pull was quite literally just to say, Ethan, why aren't we arresting Bryan Singer and James Charles? And it's like, well, yeah, maybe cases should be brought against them. But again, it's about the individual context of these situations. Don't just say full stop that, like, this is a problem. Because it is a problem, but don't say it's like a problem with the gay community is like kind of the thing with the LGBTQ community. Yeah, it's a ridiculous argument. Some gay men are gross just like some of every type of people are gross. It has nothing to do with being gay. It's so annoying. No, yeah, and again, it's like if we actually look at, like, if we think about it logically, of course there is going to be like homosexual children that are abused because of what I was saying about like forms of being ostracized. Oh my god, forms of being ostracized and so on. But I think at this point,
3 weeks ago.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, this conversation's been going on for a while, but this data, I mean, this data is not shocking. You don't hear this stuff and you're like, not like, oh my God, this is crazy.
yeah, again, and then they have a bit of a back and forth for a second. That ends.
Have the conversation.
Yeah, well, we're having it
but
now.
It's not a conversation just to
it.
cite the statistics. Why do we cite the statistics? What is the overall point that you're
say
driving?
that
What do we extrapolate? You do studies and you get statistics so you can extrapolate meaning from it.
Yeah.
So what's the extrapolation?
The extrapolation is, why is Bryan Singer not in prison? Why is James Charles not in prison? Why are these guys who are powerful gay men and influential, in our town specifically?
Gay pedophiles are getting a pass.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. That's the point in that conversation. There's no conversation around it, right? It took 7 months. The first video I made responding to Adam was 7 months ago. This was 3 weeks ago because it took him 7 months to respond, and now we're talking about it here. So it'll force this conversation, even further, which I appreciate. Again, it's and by the way, I do want to cite this. This isn't to just say that all gay men are pedophiles.
Yeah, look at how many white elite straight men who essay and do not get caught and therefore cannot be included within the statistics. Yeah, that as well. And also, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, even beyond that, look at how many of, like, just look at how it happens across the board, and you'll see that, like people were saying, it does happen in every community, in every, like, by every type of person you could think of. And so, it's similar to when people look in like the Epstein files and go, look at all these Jews in the Epstein files, and it's like, but look at all the people that aren't Jewish too. It's like, this is clearly like a multinational, multi-religious, multi-ethnic like issue here. And yeah, I feel like, again, it's just like, it's a generalization to try and fit, like, I don't even know what it is trying to do necessarily. I guess just keep pushing the same like points over and over again.
That's not the point in this conversation. It's just to bring light how big the issue is and how it goes unaddressed because there's a concerted effort to protect this class of people.
Why is that? Because
they're very powerful.
The gays?
Yeah, gay men in Hollywood are very powerful. Like Bryan Singer's powerful, right?
I mean, no, he's disgraced now. He's definitely disgraced now. He's not powerful now.
James Charles?
James Charles is not powerful. I mean, again, also disgraced.
I mean, you were just talking about Shane Dawson, too, earlier.
Also disgraced.
I mean, but they're still going around. They're not in prison. They're not seeing consequences, and they're being allowed to continue using their platforms and make big videos, make money. So, there obviously, there are several other people who have, not to draw an equivalence here, but there's several. If they were straight, they would have likely lost everything.
I think the occurrence of.
I mean, again, it's just like, look at all the cases where that's just not true.
Abuse is probably.
Look at how many straight men get away with it.
Consistent among men predators. I think the only difference is, for example, gay men who are pedophiles have more access. right? Because they're going to be around.
That's true. They do, because
Children of their own
bathrooms. That's a fair point.
I honestly don't think that's necessarily a fair point. Because is that, I mean, like what? I genuinely don't get what the point is there.
Point. Because of that access,
So
that means it's even more dangerous. The fact that we don't talk about it because there's no preventative.
What do you want to do?
No
But I don't
deterrence.
understand. You want.
Because I think what Ethan's trying to say is people are more comfortable with like men being around young boys and women being around young girls. But I don't think that's even generally like necessarily true. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that point is. I am confused by that.
Want to talk about it? You don't want to say anything.
What do you mean?
What do you want to do? We're talking about it. What do we do?
We're talking. This is great.
Locker rooms, maybe? I guess maybe. Ethan L. Classic Ethan L. You're right, Mantis. So true.
We're bringing up now scenarios
do?
in the ways. What do we do? I mean, we hold people accountable. We do what you're doing, which is putting your money out there to educate people that the sky is walking.
How many locker rooms are there? Yeah, but think about how many people you can fit into each locker room. It's a numbers game at that point.
Around this guy who confessed to 2 separate cases, right? As young as 14, trying to fly out a 14-year-old. This guy shouldn't be platformed.
Well, I totally agree with that.
Yeah. James Charles, by the way, that's who we're talking about. I just want to make sure.
Oh, I'll make
this guy.
Everybody's gonna know on Friday who I'm talking about. Yeah. It does feel like it does feel like you have an agenda. You're citing this all. You're targeting specifically.
The agenda is a conversation.
Gay men.
The agenda is a conversation.
Okay, I was gonna jump ahead, but it's only a minute, so I'm gonna just let it play and hear his full context of what he means here. Let's hear it.
If you care, your goal, you say, is to care about victims, children victims.
Yeah,
that's your primary focus. Have you posted any videos about the Epstein files?
I've made posts. Yeah, I've talked about it. I don't know if I've done a full breakdown. Honestly,
why?
Because there's like 3 million files, and I haven't had I was watching a video summary of it, but I've said this before in videos.
What could be
and
more
in debates,
urgent than that if you're trying to protect?
I don't think I have the authoritative understanding to really break it down.
So you read one study, you have the authoritarian understanding?
No, I cite several studies there. There are 3 million documents on the Epstein file.
You don't need to read all 3 million.
I mean, I think it would be important to have a good understanding.
If you want people to wait to read all 3 million documents, that is essential.
Yeah, thanks for stopping in, Mantis. Really appreciate it. Shout out Princess Mantis.
Actually, is running defense for Epstein.
I'm not saying absolutely
well,
not.
let me explain why, and I'm not saying you are meaning
I'm not
to.
running defense for, and I've said that. Can I just cite my position on it?
The reason I say that is because nobody would ever talk about it.
Well, no, I get it. I get that, but that's you're generalizing it a bit.
But you can search.
My position on Epstein is anybody who's convicted or who's found of it. I say public execution.
Okay, why is that?
I love how taken aback Ethan was by that statement. He went, okay. He was like, oh. And this is kind of what I meant. It's another rake moment. It's another rake-filled yard. And Deaf Noodles just kept stepping on them. Why would he say that? Like, it was just so unnecessary. And then they had this long argument about what it means to be public. I think everybody understands that a public execution is like what they did to Saddam Hussein. You know, it's like that. On video, in the public, for the people to see. You know, they put it live. On the TV, everyone was like, oh, there, they got him. I don't know how you make this argument in any way. I think it shows how little he understands the law. And now this is also just, I mean, bye election. You know what I mean? This is the perfect anti-noodle campaign. I don't even think they're going to worry about him, to be completely honest. But all they have to do is just I think that they should be publicly executed. And then you should be like, we want to stop children from becoming victims. And that includes seeing such terrible things as public executions. Like, let me just put it this way, man. I was seeing stuff that wasn't meant to be a public, a public execution when I was a kid. So stuff's definitely out there, but I don't think we need more of it. Is kind of the whole thing. Ethan did win because of that. That one is how Ethan won.
But you can search. Just
My
go in there and
position
search.
on Epstein is anybody who's convicted or who's found of it, I say public execution.
Okay. Why is that good? Why do you want to publicly execute people?
Yeah, I guess also by what means? Like, how are we doing this public execution? Firing squad, a hanging, maybe, I don't know, man. We do an electric chair, but like, I don't even know. You just have it set in the middle of the street. Shark Tank, maybe? That'd be a good one. We're gonna bring back the gallows, I guess. I guess that's kind of what he means, right? You want to deal with your trauma? Why not treat it with a little bit more trauma? Because that's the thing, right? Is people think, and it does depend, I guess, sometimes. Sometimes there is that catharsis. If you were the one to kill your, the aggressor, if somebody is aggressing on you, and there must be a catharsis to that. To kill your abuser once and for all. Like, I understand that on some level, but I do think it depends on the person too. Seeing the face of the person you killed is also, there's something traumatic about that as well. iFunny feed in 7th, 8th grade was fucked up. See, I was just all over the internet, I remember all the gore websites, every single one of them. See, I think, what else does he not understand? Because, yeah, he doesn't understand green cards. What was the other thing he doesn't get? There was another big one that he, like, completely just misses. Oh, it was when they were asking him about the Epstein files. And we'll get to that too. Oh my God. I think we just need to keep going. Because he asked him about the Epstein files and he's like, I am following it. And he's like, did you see Elon's emails? And he goes, those were in the Epstein files? And it's like, dude, how are you following it at all? This was like the big news.
Because we have to deter it. There's serious. There's deterrence.
Like how? What public? You want to like hang them in the town square?
I don't know. I don't know. Do
it's a
like
bit medieval, don't you think?
I mean, we do a lot of medieval. You could walk outside in LA.
So you
There's still pretty. It's pretty medieval. We're not.
I don't see head on pikes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not asking for head on.
Well, what's
pikes.
a public execution?
I don't know. Firing squad.
Do you want to do that in public?
With the politicians and the elites that were involved, yeah.
But public means like in a town square where the public can watch.
If they want to, or we televise it. I mean, do you want to
televise?
Sorry, I was looking at something on the side. My apologies. I think, honestly, a firing squad's also a crazy way to do it. What if we do public execution lethal injection? We're just like, it's truly just like a horrible sight. You just watch someone keel over. Whoa.
You want to protect? You have empathy for pedophiles?
No.
What are we doing?
Bro, I'm
convicted pedophiles. You care about them that much?
Is that really what we're getting at? I mean, I've talked at length about the Epstein files. You're Mr. I need to read all 3 million files.
I literally said I want them executed, and you're like, hey, hold on a minute, not the pedophiles.
You think I'm upset about the execution and not the public execution?
Yeah, I mean, just make it public.
You want to televise execution?
It's a form of deterrence. I think our elites have to be held to account.
You want to televise executions?
Yeah, of the elites.
These people there's so many people that have more money than you can imagine and are getting away with more than you can imagine because they have the lawyers to back them up. They have billions of millions of dollars that they can just throw at this problem and make it disappear.
You want to tell, hold on, but yeah, obviously we all agree that pedophiles are bad and et cetera, et cetera. But you want to, and let's set that aside. You want to
Yeah, telling Nate, a Mexican-American crew member, that he was going to deport him when he got elected. Like, these aren't jokes to make. Like, even if you're like, oh, we're being edgy. Like, come on, dude.
Publicly broadcast executions? Like on like CBS, like Channel 5?
I said of people who are convicted of the Epstein stuff, yes.
See, I think Ethan could have asked him this too. Does he not realize that that's opening up the door to allow more broad, like, maybe more people want public executions? Maybe that's a good thing.
And so anyone can tune in. Children can watch.
If they want to.
Children
I mean, of course, not children.
But it's on. It's public execution.
Okay, so we'll just.
How do we make sure children don't watch?
Then maybe
we're protecting the children, right?
This is a hypothetical. Obviously,
We'll sell tickets. I don't know. I haven't thought too much about this. I just like the way it sounded to say execute the Epstein file people that are in it. I love the way that sound. Execute all of them. In my head, it makes sense. Execute all pedophiles. Makes sense to me. I like that he thinks that that's like a good deterrent, as if it's not also something that would make them be like much more cautious in their forms of concealment. You know what I mean?
No, public execution is a spectacle for everyone.
I understand.
Children included.
I understand what you're getting at. I understand what you're getting at. We figure out a way to do it where it's kosher.
Tell me.
Okay? I don't know.
Okay, but you're in favor of public execution. That's like a really...
pedophiles, convicted pedophiles that have abused children, had a child trafficking ring. Yes. I have zero empathy for pedophiles and rapists.
Well, why
I
public?
Don't care.
Because that seems like traumatic for children.
It's a form of deterrence. Don't have children watch it then. It's a form of deterrence.
How?
Our elites shouldn't be allowed to get away with this kind of these kinds of crimes.
Do you think Vitaly should host the executions on Kick?
Now you're just being funny. Now you're just being funny.
Well, how is it public? No, I'm being serious.
I want to bring this up too. That guy Coop that I've been recommending talking about the Epstein files. I still haven't I need to like maybe just watch one of his newer videos on stream. Go watch everything. A new letter from one of Epstein's drivers. Apparently it was from like, I don't know if it was this one that was from years ago actually. There was like this one was from years ago. This was like everything is just so fucking insane. But he was talking about Zorro Ranch, Epstein's Zorro Ranch. And Zorro Ranch is now being investigated more deeply because there's suspicion of bodies that were buried there. And like, I'm telling you, if you want like the knowledge, like when was the one where he talked about Zorro Ranch? Zorro. 6 months ago, he was talking about Zorro Ranch. And these are articles from a day ago. Calls grow deeper. Investigations called for Epstein's Zorro Ranch after email alleges 2 girls' bodies were buried nearby. Coop's a good guy. Scooper of Coop. The Cooper Scooper. But definitely go check him out. It was just something definitely relevant to the whole conversation of everything. Someone that does know about the Epstein files. If you're upset that Deaf Noodles knows nothing about the Epstein files, go learn more about the Epstein files.
I need to dig your brain because I have to say, someone who's genuinely in favor of broadcasting and holding public executions is not someone I would trust to be in office, regardless of how they feel about anything else. That's like insane. That's medieval.
Well, we do have the death penalty in many states.
Yeah, but it's not public execution.
Well, it's a form.
And the death penalty's also gone through like so many different changes, and it's been like some states don't have the death penalty, right? So it's like it obviously there's an ebb and a flow to everything. And some people would argue that we shouldn't have the death penalty. People would argue that we should. And really it is a complicated issue, and just saying something is outrageous as just saying execute them full stop. I think ignores kind of what is necessary, and because I mean, like again, you're just saying something that sounds good. Yes, they should be dead. Okay, but what are we actually doing this for? Like, okay, execute them, but let's make sure we get the information we need from them first. That's like kind of one of the benefits of keeping certain people alive, is like, you know, people that admit to other victims that they had 20 years later, and then they find new buried bodies from like murderers and stuff like that. Like, it does help in some ways put other like things to rest later on. It can, at least, not always, but it's like that is kind of the hope of removing the death penalty at times. I feel like less states have it than more. A lot of people are against it. Yeah. Here, let me look it up real quick.
How else are you going to get the elite?
Hold on. Are you want to walk back to the public part? Because execution's different.
I think here's the thing.
Yeah. So it's a little over half. 27 states have the death penalty, but when it's that close of that tight of a race. Yeah, since 1973, at least 200 people wrongfully convicted were sentenced to death. And they have been exonerated. They've been fully exonerated, but were wrongfully sentenced to death. So I don't know if they fully, I guess that 200, I don't know if they had met their date of execution yet, all of them, but they had been sentenced to death. That's at least what the statistic is saying here. Last meal, I had sausage from a diner, from a deli, local deli. It's pretty nice.
You're fixating on one aspect.
No,
of it.
that is a big deal.
Well, people, whenever somebody's executed, Ted Bundy, for example, people went and watched his execution. It is public.
The victims, the prosecutor, the state is invited. That is not public.
Journalists.
That is not public.
I mean, it's public in a manner.
No, it's private.
Invited.
It's literally private. It's by an invitation for a very small amount of people to witness. That's not public.
You watch the video covering it. There were people, hundreds of people outside celebrating that Ted Bundy was dead.
Public.
Here's the thing. There have to be consequences for criminals.
Bro, I'm never
going to defend criminals, and I'm not going to stand up for people who are brutal, murderers, child sexual abusers, child traffickers. I empathize with the victims. I'm never going to defend or stand on the side.
When are you going to talk about Epstein files?
I am never going.
There's a difference between defending people in the Epstein files and saying I'm against public execution. How about this? All I'm saying is close the door. That's literally it. That's the difference. Close the door and we're all good.
Going to stand.
Why are you waiting to talk about Epstein files?
Huh? Well, now you're not even letting me finish. You're changing the subject.
Well, you're acting like I'm pro not punishing pedophiles. I want to dig your brain on public execution. Okay. Are you walking that back?
No, people have to know what the consequences are.
But you understand that execution of Ted Bundy was a private affair. By invitation, it's a small crowd.
Yeah, it was.
You understand public execution is like on the street.
Now you're making a distinction of what public is, but it was public.
Yes, you're going to be a politician. These distinctions matter. They're quite literally what like all legislation is founded on. Is like the devil's in the details. That's kind of the whole issue with what you're saying.
In the sense that there were people there, so it was still public.
Well, how else are you going to execute them? Drop them in a well?
No,
is that private?
No.
So how do you privately execute someone if it's public when there's one person?
Every execution has been public.
Okay, so you don't know what public means. You don't know what public means. Open to the broader audience.
Open to the broader audience. So that's the distinction you're making.
No, that's not the distinction I'm making. That's what public
means. We're like just fixating on one detail.
No, that's an extraordinary claim to say that you want public execution.
I still don't understand why you're standing with pedophiles. Why are you defending them so much?
That's a crazy deflection.
It's not a crazy deflection. I mean, I've explained why I want them to be public. Number one.
I mean, just quite literally, a public execution is a form of capital punishment which members of the general public may voluntarily attend. This definition excludes the presence of only a small number of witnesses called upon to assure executive accountability. The purpose of such displays has historically been to deter individuals from defying law or authorities. He is literally going back to, like, you know, 1700s methodology. So let's go back to what works. What our country was founded on.
I want it to be a deterrence. I want people to know. I want people. Let me finish. Let me finish, please.
No, because you're just saying.
Just let me finish my point.
Yeah,
1 second.
Okay.
Let me finish my point.
The point is moot because I'm not arguing
My point
that.
is there's a group of elites in this country.
Let's punish pedophiles and do it and make a deterrent.
Can I just finish it?
You can, but it's not what I'm saying.
I just want to.
You're shadow boxing.
I'm not shadow boxing.
Go ahead.
I'm laying out my position. This is my position, okay? And why I want it to be public. Because there's an elite, there's a global elite, and there's an elite in this country that's rich enough and has enough resources that they've been able to get away with every sort of crime imaginable under the sun. And we literally, well, it's like a.
Do you think I disagree with any of this?
I know you don't.
So let's not waste time talking about it. I just want to know
the public aspect. The public aspect.
You want to do a firing squad in public? That's extraordinary. That's an extraordinary thing to want as a.
I have to say, Ethan, you do have some dainty little hands. Look at these, unedited right here. Am I the only one? Am I the only one that thinks this? Maybe he's just getting swole, those forearms, you know what I mean?
Politician. In fact, public executions are illegal.
For rapists and pedophiles,
you want to change the law?
Rapists and pedophiles that have gotten away, have molested countless dozens of children.
Yeah, anyone.
And gotten away with it.
Because it's not about them. It's about the public.
How else should Epstein be punished?
You could. So I mean,
if he were still alive,
prison,
how should life in prison? You think that's good enough? The guy molests hundreds of children, destroys their lives.
Okay, let's say execute him, right? But like not publicly, not in a town square with a firing squad, because that goes outside him.
And what's the effect?
Affects
the network
society.
around him. The network around him remains the same.
Okay, listen,
It remains the same if you execute him in public. All that does is create a frenzy within them to probably, like, kill, like, victims that are still alive that could testify against them, like destroy evidence that is, like, available. Like, there's only bad outcomes, really, that could come from that. Yes, it is a deterrent to the people that are already, like, that are uninvolved. But if there are these people that are already involved in these types of schemes, these types of evil behaviors, like, they're just going to figure out new methods in which they can, like, keep their, you know, behaviors in secrecy.
You're pro-public execution. I think that's crazy. But
No. You're conflating.
That's what you said.
I said in one specific.
It's not like getting my grass cut. It's a fucking leaf blower. I swear to God. They're always so loud. I'm like, bro, come on.
Example for the Epstein people.
I was really hoping it wasn't coming through.
That's it. For
So
people
one
who are
time.
convicted.
So one time. So if
Yes.
you feel that strongly, why are you putting off investigating it? You're an.
I'm not putting off.
I think Def Noodles thinks he's Sacha Baron Cohen. See, I think what's so funny is people. I'll never understand this type of troll. Sacha Baron Cohen does it good, but even when he's doing it, it isn't just purely "look at me, I'm an idiot, haha, got you." It's do things that bring out the craziest sides of others. That's like what Sacha Baron Cohen is doing. Like in Borat and in all of them. What was the USA one called? I always forget the name of it. But like in all of those, he's doing things that are these outrageous characters to draw out an outrageous reaction. But other people try and do this trolling where it's just, look at me, I'm so fucking stupid, ha 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 ha. And it's like, okay, cool. You really got me. I thought you were an idiot. Good one.
Off investigating
Yes,
it.
you are.
Who said
You're
that?
waiting for You're going to read 3 million documents. What are you going to talk about in 20 years?
It's being investigated by people who are more qualified right now.
So
Yeah.
talk about the reporting.
Okay. I'll make a video.
But I'm just saying, if you
deep
care
dive.
about the kids, why are you talking about gay couples getting married and you're not talking about
Because
Epstein?
that was a specific response to something that he made a video calling me out.
Have you read any documents from Epstein files?
If you got to let me finish one point.
Go ahead.
So he made a video calling me out for helping James Charles get free, right? Because there were a dozen allegations that I shared. And then at the tail end of that, there were 2 that were false that I shared and deleted within minutes of them being posted, right? One kid that shared it as a joke and another kid that just wanted attention. And certain people, especially Adam included, have been using those two allegations to exonerate James Charles, undermine all the 12 that came before, right? So...
Wait. I don't think I understood this the first time listening to it.
If you got to let me finish one point.
Go ahead.
So he made a video calling me out for helping James Charles get free. Right?
So he's saying the rat, Adam McIntyre. He said Adam McIntyre made a video calling him out, calling Deaf Noodles out for helping James Charles get free because he used fake evidence in his video. So in that, it sounds like I don't know if, like, just based on the way he's saying that, it sounds like Adam is against James Charles, at least from that explanation, right? He'd be saying, you helped James Charles get free.
Right? Because there were a dozen allegations that I shared, and then at the tail end of that, there were two that were false that I shared and deleted within minutes of them being posted, right? One kid that shared it as a joke and another kid that just wanted attention. And certain people, especially Adam included, have been using those two allegations to exonerate James Charles, undermine all the 12 that came before, right? So that was my point, that we have to have a conversation because people are exonerating people based on two outlier situations. They're exonerating people like James Charles. That was the point with why I was making that video and why I was talking about it. Out of context.
Yeah, Adam is against James Charles. It looks like there's like a 32-minute video that's just called James Charles versus Deaf Noodles. So I don't know the full context of what that is, but...
Pretty much, I like Dennis Noy. No matter how sweet I thought he was to me, he really, 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 put...
See, it's terrible because I love the accent, but I hate his voice.
Children! Oh my god, I sound like Cody Tyler whenever they were like, these are children. That being said, I do not believe that my lack of journalistic credibility or my mistakes in my coverage of the...
Yeah, this feels like it's just calling out Deaf Noodles for shitty journalism. And then he's trying to flip that into Adam uses that to exonerate James Charles. And it sounds like he's only saying that because Adam is gay, right?
Sure, it could look the way that you're talking, but that was the initial point.
It's called mask off, but I feel like you're keeping your mask on.
I'm pretty mask off right now.
So you're posting a lot of videos.
Am I?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's 2 a day, 3, 4. Nothing about the Epstein files. You have a lot of smoke for the Super Bowl halftime show. How's that more important than the Epstein files? I mean, dude, look at all these videos you made. You haven't even mentioned one, but you.
I mean, I was making a video a month for a while, and these are all old videos.
Okay, well, this is a trending story. You've been
for the
last month, you've been posting videos extremely regularly.
I have another channel as well where I talk.
Yeah, that's what it sounds. That's even like the way he kind of explained it there, and I kind of missed it the first time I was listening to this because he's very inarticulate, like cannot speak very well. Adam was calling Def out for using fake claims that James can use to say that all the claims were fake. Yeah, and I don't see how he's trying to flip that into Adam is defending James. I only remember James Charles because Ethan posted a pic of his ass because James did the same thing. Yeah, that was a classic Ethan moment.
More about political
You
stuff.
talk about Epstein files there?
I talk about a whole bunch of
You talk
different
about
clips.
Epstein files there?
I may have mentioned it. I know that I had mentioned this before. I've mentioned this before in like debates and stuff when people ask me. This isn't a new position about the what to do with people who are convicted. I didn't just come up with this in the moment. I've been talking about this.
I don't know. He just wanted the double shout out, I think. He's like, hey, can you actually pull up my other channel? My other channel, I talk about politics stuff. This is like my old channel. Can we go over to my other one?
Donald Trump was mentioned 38,000 times in the Epstein
if he's
file.
convicted, he should face the same sentence as everybody
Public
else.
execution.
No politician is above the law, period.
Let's see what you've been talking about. Debating, that's fine. Fact check. Bad Bunny, Super Bowl. Team USA goes woke. Gorilla. You show a picture of Gorilla.
He kind of dodged the Trump question earlier. I think it would be good to clarify here. Do you support Donald Trump because you care about the law? He was found liable of rape, so like he was found liable of rape, so like I don't know how we can contend with that. If he was liable of that, and again, that was only because he couldn't be criminally charged because of the statute of limitations. I'd like to know what his actual stance on Trump is, because he did kind of dodge it before. Or sorry, he dodges it later. Or does he do it right now? He does it about the Obama gorilla thing. The ape post.
Obama. Do you think this was racist, by the way?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. The meme in and of itself is like bizarre.
You think Trump's racist?
Sorry, I talked about it before it happened.
I think it was a mistake, honestly. I think that whoever's on his team should get fired. If he posted it himself, then he should just watch the clips before he posts it.
So he's giving Trump the pass there, saying if it was one of his advisors, they should be fired. If it was him, he didn't watch the clip. So if it was one of his advisors, they definitely watched the clip and should be fired. But if it was Trump, he probably didn't see it.
I think that's a mistake that the president can't be doing.
So you've posted a lot of videos in the past 3-4 weeks. So how?
Yeah, a lot of them are debates. A lot of them are.
A lot aren't. I just think that if you cared about the welfare of children, you'd at least be interested in Epstein.
Yeah.
You seem to be dodging that issue.
I'm not dodging the issue. We're talking about it right now.
Well, we're not having a substantive conversation about it.
Okay, so let's make it more substantive.
Well, you haven't looked into it at all.
I was watching a video coverage of I think the guy covered it was a 50-minute video. He covered like half of it. He's doing like a 3-part series. So
do you see that the message from Elon Musk that says, "When's the wildest party on your island?"
That was in an email?
Yeah. Elon Musk sent that to Epstein. He says, "When is the?"
Okay.
I want to come.
Def Noodles isn't in the Epstein files. He passes for now.
To the wildest night on your island. What night should I come?
I mean, that's crazy.
It is.
Yeah. That's the amount of people who are involved.
It's just so. His ignorance truly is bliss, I imagine. Because how are you going to go from literally being called out that you didn't know that one of the richest, like the richest man in the world, was in the Epstein files, begging to come to the island, and you're just gonna be like, yeah, it's crazy to think about how many rich people are in there. You don't have to think about it. Go look it up. Go look and see how many people are in there. Did you search his legal name? I did look up both his legal and his stage name.
Involved in it is something that I think every American should be concerned about, and we have to hold everybody accountable. That's my whole point with it. I don't have like a taste. I don't say that lightly, by the way. I know it sounded like I was saying it lightly,
do me a favor,
but I think every single politician, every single person who was involved with this guy should be held to account. Period.
I think just do me a favor, like in the media you're putting out, you should be.
Def Noodles should just go back to making AI commentary videos. I think he's going to be forced into it at some point. Maybe it got shut down by YouTube. I know they've been really laying their fists down. They've been saying no, heavy-handed with the deletion of many channels who have been making AI slop for a while.
I just think you should look into that more.
I will.
Yeah,
and I appreciate you bringing that up like that.
Yeah,
because this is something that seriously.
So you say you don't hate gay people, but I don't understand why in all your thumbnails you say gay.
Okay, now
you called me gay.
I'm being funny.
What's funny
I'm being
about
stupid.
That?
I mean,
what's funny about that?
So we had an emergency meeting this morning about how we're supposed to respond if a prospective student's family asks about why our college appeared in the files. Ooh. Hey, at least they're giving you the answer so you don't get blindsided, you know what I mean? Did they tell you who to blame? Because that's kind of the important part, right?
We all went to middle school together. It's like a middle school type thing.
Are you in middle school?
No, obviously not. but it's you know, it's a little like dumb little thing. There really isn't much to think about it.
I mean, it's homophobic, isn't it?
Is
You're
calling
using,
somebody gay is homophobic?
yeah, because you.
Yes. Using an inalienable trait as a pejorative, using it as a pejorative is homophobic. You could say it would be sexist, racist. Going, oh. Like, again, you don't even have to think of. Ethan kind of misses it again here because he starts saying, would you call people the N-word? Don't even say the N-word. It's crazy if you just go, oh, you're acting black right now. Think about how fucking crazy that sounds. You're acting gay. You're gay. You're like, right? It's the same thing regardless of how bad the word is just in itself.
You're using it as an insult. You're definitely not using it as a compliment, right? You're not saying, this guy's gay and that's awesome about him.
I mean, people say, oh, that's gay all the time. No?
Not in my circle. I don't know who you hang out with.
I've had
when I was
people,
in middle school.
So here's my question.
Hold on. This is being used as an insult.
So here's my
Why
question.
I'm not gay.
I'm surprised Def didn't pull out I thought gay meant happy. Well, gay. Well, he kind of did when Ethan said, would you be fine with calling someone the N-word? And then he goes, well, that has a different meaning in the past. He's like, maybe he does think that the historic usage of gay meaning happy. He's like, it's the same thing. But he goes like, the history of the word gay still means the same thing it did when we were kids. And it's like, bro, what are you talking about? That word goes back a little bit farther than just when you were a kid on the playground.
No, here's my question then too, because this cuts both ways. This cuts both ways, right? There's that whole meme that people on the left love to say, like, oh, the RNC.
No, yeah, like, that's the thing is you can act like you don't care. Oh, I don't care if somebody said, oh, you're acting so Brazilian right now. Oh, your Brazilian is showing. That's a pretty good one. Yeah, but, okay, but I'm sorry, I'm laughing at my own joke. And that was on the fucking fly. I have to sit back for a second and bask in that one. But you can not care about a pejorative being used against you, but that doesn't make it not racist or homophobic or sexist or like any type of bigotry.
Convention is in town. Grindr just crashed, right? So it's used both ways.
How can you?
Homosexuality is used as an insult both ways, even from the left. So
I don't.
To the right,
for the record,
you don't say that at all.
You don't ever say that shit was gay. Like, what are you talking about, dude? You're a politician asking this question for real?
Call people gay?
You never called somebody
in middle school.
Imply that they were like gay.
In middle school, I'm 40
but
now.
I'm talking about adults, like a lot of people. This is like a meme that happens online, like to the nth degree.
You criticize Trump for showing the gorilla meme, which is juvenile. But if you're making middle school jokes, shouldn't that disqualify you from running for Congress and people taking you seriously?
Is the president disqualified now because he made?
Yes, yes. You're asking the wrong crowd that question. Yes, I would say that.
A mistake then?
Well, I think he is disqualified for long before he became.
Yeah, but he's still president. I think that you can.
Yeah, but he's been elected. You haven't.
You can have juvenile humor.
This interview was gay. Not gonna lie. Hey, bro, I was not very happy during this interview at all. I don't know what you mean.
It's totally fine to have a juvenile sense of humor. It's totally okay to have a juvenile sense of humor and still be able to do your job.
Yeah, but you're doing it at the
yeah, not as a politician. I would disagree with that one.
So
you're doing it at the cost of a marginalized group of people.
Well, who have I harmed with that?
Gay people. You're stigmatizing the idea.
Stigmatizing?
Yeah, you're using gay as an insult. Are you really that dense?
Gay people do that as well. The left does that as
you're
well.
Not gay.
Just pointed out.
Are you gay?
No, I'm not gay.
Okay, so do you think that anyone should be able to say the N-word?
People make jokes about straight people all the time.
Should you be able to call people the N-word?
I prefer to not say it, but people can say whatever they want. It's freedom of speech.
I didn't say you can't say whatever you want. Should you be allowed to use the N-word and nobody get mad at you?
Obviously, that's outside of the realm of reality. People are
Because
going
you're doing
to
the
get
same
mad.
thing. You're saying, well, gay people say it, so why can't I say it? You say gay people use it as an
That's
insult.
not. I didn't make that equivalence. I said that I said that it happens on the left as
Well, that's the other part I'll never understand. Nobody's saying you should fucking get arrested for your thumbnails. We're saying you're a scumbag for it. It's my freedom of speech. Did I say that it was a crime or that you should be criminally tried for this? I said that it makes you a piece of shit. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'll never understand this. Nice clickbait. Thank you. Trying my best, you know? They dapped up and everything. How could I not?
as well. I'm showing how it happens on both sides.
I don't believe so. I don't believe it does.
The grinder meme of saying the RNC crashed the grinder yesterday, Amfest crashed grinder yesterday. That literally all over the internet.
Well, there is a lot of cases of gay.
And by the way, whenever I'm
conservative who smoke like meth and.
Oh wait, they talked about this in the after show.
Grinder yesterday.
So I don't believe it does.
The grinder meme of saying the RNC crashed the grinder.
They pointed out on the After Dark show that it's not a meme because this did actually happen before. But I will say that after it did happen, like it did happen, but then there was there were jokes that were made basically at any Republican conference after that point. It is a joke that is made, and again, you can talk about whether or not it feeds into like bigotry or whatever. Like, we can have that conversation as well, but don't act like that supersedes what you were saying. Like, especially when you're the one running for office and you're talking about random people on Twitter. Like, there is a very distinct difference there. Change that title, bro. Please stop misleading. Never. You can't change me.
Yesterday, Amfest crashed grinder yesterday. That literally.
But also, I would say that the difference there is also there is a distinction to be made in the difference between saying you are gay and therefore bad versus pointing out people that are homophobic and pointing out the percentage that are just closeted. You know, it isn't a majority or anything. I won't go far as to say that, because I do think that it does get pushed a little hard anytime someone's homophobic. But hey, that internalized homophobia, it's a thing. Horseshoe theory is when the left and the right dab up. I'm telling you, it's the truth. It is dapped, but Ethan says dabbed. Yeah, it's dap. The good old dap.
All over the internet.
Well, there is a lot of cases of gay.
And by the way, whenever I'm
conservative who smoke like meth and
okay, well, now you're just that's anecdotal. But here's the thing: I've been doing debates at colleges. They'll go to insult whenever somebody on the left or like somebody who's a little woke comes up to me. They immediately go to calling me gay. So it's always like that.
So you're saying it's okay for everybody to use a marginalized group as an insult. So where does that stop? Should everyone say the N-word? Because black people say the N-word.
Yeah, I prefer to not say it, but people have the freedom of speech to say whatever they want.
That's not what I'm saying, of course. I'm saying, of course, people can say whatever they want.
Yeah.
Is that really what you think? That people just think being gay makes you a good person? Trust me, I've met a lot of people that were gay and also like complete dickheads. You know, I've met assholes of every race, religion, and sexual orientation.
So if people are allowed to call everyone gay, they should also be allowed to. Should people be allowed to use slurs against any group?
Well, then because
this is like
that's a false equivalence because you're also using a word that
Again, I don't think that it's good to say that it's like a slur here. I think the clearest example you could use is imagine if instead of saying gay, he just replaced it with black. Oh, that's so black. Oh, that's so Mexican. That's some real Mexican shit. Like, yes, you can say that people don't care. Oh, people won't care. It's the same thing with like the whole conversation about cracker. Yeah, people don't care if you say cracker. That doesn't mean it's not racist. It's still racist regardless of whether or not it is like an effective form of racism.
Historically means something, and it's
Should you be able
been
to
reappropriated by the black community.
Should you be able to call Jewish people like Jew, just be like, you're a Jew, like as an insult?
As an insult? Do you take being called a Jew as an insult?
Do you not think it's impossible to use that word as an insult?
I mean, do you take it as an insult? That's my question.
Obviously, it depends on the context, right?
Okay, you probably know that better than I do. So I'm not going to argue with it, whatever your opinion is on it.
So you should. So if people are just like, this guy's a fucking Jew, that's fine.
Yeah,
Or if I do an arrow,
and he's not a Jew.
yeah. Or well, I mean, Jews. If you're a Jew, is still
And
bad.
they're appealing. You mean that
change
they're
gay with
appealing-
Jew? Change gay with Jew. Is that okay?
I mean, honestly, it wouldn't be as funny.
I got a notification from Tyler Durden fan club. Advice for dealing with hoes. What the fuck is YouTube recommending me? It knows who you are, internet tough guy. It knows a tough guy when they see one. That's actually hilarious.
Why? What's funny about gay people?
It's just it's not that there's something funny about gay people. It's just there's something funny about just doing that on a thumbnail because it causes this kind of overreaction.
I mean, basically what he's saying is it's funny to speak ignorantly because it gets a reaction from people. It's funny to rage bait. It's funny to be a troll. So you're not a troll now. You used to be a troll. It was all a character when you were Deaf Noodles in the past wearing the kitty ears. I also love that he calls them kitty ears. They call them cat ears over and over again. He keeps calling them kitty ears, even though he's like, it's all a character. I didn't wear the kitty ears seriously. So that was all a character. This isn't a character now, but it's funny because it's just a troll and it gets a reaction out of people. You're not genuinely calling these people gay. I just know he apologized by saying, I'm sorry you feel that way. Yeah, that's usually the way it goes.
It causes this kind of tone policing.
It's not. I'm not policing your tone.
You're 100% tone policing.
I'm talking about the substance of what you're saying. That's not tone
No,
policing.
that is. You have a problem with me just
You know what
putting
tone
an arrow.
is?
You have a problem with me putting an arrow and having the word gay next to somebody. You're clearly offended by that.
Yeah, as I think people should be.
You're adding a context here that doesn't even exist. What? I added an arrow and said he's gay and he's still gay. What's wrong here? What's the issue? I'm using gay as a pejorative. What's the problem?
Really?
Yeah, I mean,
just calling somebody gay should be offensive?
You know, I know he's from Jersey, but I feel like he was a huge Sopranos fan because he does like the James Gandolfini, Tony Soprano. He like speaks with like a mouthful of spit.
If you're using it as an insult, as you're using it as a derogatory way, yeah, of course.
But how is anybody diminished from being called gay? Do you think that gay people are lower?
You clearly do, because you're using it as an
How?
insult. If you call me gay, you're like, yo, this guy's gay. What do you mean?
It's just you were in middle school.
So you don't believe in words?
I do believe that's an extreme
gay
extrapolation.
mean-
You don't believe in words?
Mask is on. The mask is still on, eh?
Is it on?
Yeah,
We're
for
still we're
sure.
talking like having a pretty open conversation.
The mask is on, my friend.
Is it?
Why would I want someone doing middle school jokes about gay people in Congress?
In what sense? I mean, people talk about a lot of.
I just like, in what sense? What do you mean in what sense? I gave you a very it was very specific. In what sense? At all? Just in general? What do you mean?
Stuff.
Don't you think someone who represents their people in Congress should be mature and take things seriously?
Do you reasonably believe that
Do you think
everybody
gay people are marginalized?
Can I ask you a question? Now you're changing subjects. Do you reasonably believe that people in Congress don't have a sense of humor, that they don't make jokes, like edgy jokes behind the scenes or anything like that?
Is that what I said?
I mean, I don't think that they should. Do I think that they do? Yeah, probably. But do I think that they should? Probably not. I hold elected officials to a higher standard. Do I think that they will live up to that higher standard? No, of course not. Everybody's human. But we should still hold that higher standard. And if you're not even willing to like attempt it, like who, I mean, it's kind of pointless.
Ed?
No, I'm asking you a question because
Sure,
I'm trying
people
to
have
understand.
sense of humor.
Exactly.
Do you think gay people are marginalized in America?
I don't think anymore. No, at one point, yes.
One point, pretty recently.
Maybe like in the late 90s.
Well, gay marriage just became legal.
The first person to make Ethan speechless. He's definitely dealing with him with kitty gloves, you know. But here they are having some age solidarity together.
41. Yeah, I'm 85. So.
Me too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You want to shake my hand? Come on, dude.
I'll dad you up for 85.
Yeah.
Two 85-year-olds dapping each other up.
Well, you worried my hand? You like looked at your
No, I
hand?
was just kidding.
Okay.
I was just doing a little hesitation
All
for
right.
a joke. I just
We'll see that on Twitter later for sure.
We'll see that
It's in my thumbnail. It worked.
on Twitter? Okay.
I
Anyway.
think I just caught gay.
Yeah, he had the kitty gloves on.
You just got gay. Oh, I'm sorry. I gave Ethan the gay.
Yeah, but
Why are they back? They came back and started leaf blowing again.
people were pretty surprised when they found out you were not in your 20s.
So this is the thing. That started out as a rumor, and I think it was
Yeah, and then we get into this. His age. He says it was a rumor. No.
Tommy.
were not in your 20s.
So this is the thing. That started out as a rumor, and I think it was Tommy. What's his? It's the whole thing. Tommy.
Turkey Tom?
No, it was Tommy SFTP or whatever his thing is.
Tommy NC, is it?
Tommy NC. He found this page. I think it was like a famous birthdays page, and it had my age as like something different. And he found a video of me from like 2012 or 13, and it said that I was talking about something different relating to my age, right? And he put that together, and he said, "Oh, he's lying about his age." There isn't a public statement that I've made about my age outside.
So I've never lied about my age, is his claim. I've never made a public statement lying about my age.
Out of that page.
This guy
And
right here.
That page, so the story around that page.
Yeah.
So initially, when I was reached out by Famous Birthdays, I sent them my actual birthday, 85.
Yeah.
And then I had somebody advise me. I was going out for commercial auditions. I wasn't a YouTuber yet. I had like no following. And they were like, hey, you're going out for commercial auditions. It could help you to get cast for younger roles if you present your age differently online.
I didn't lie about my age. I was just told, hey, you should lie about your age. Genius.
Right? And that was it. I didn't actually even see any sort of benefit.
I think you were 37 in this picture, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's gay.
So we have, just to recap, a dude who's perhaps gay, perhaps pretending to be gay, lying about his age to appear younger.
No,
we're getting some red flags here.
You're misframing it.
A little,
No, I
you know
never
what I mean?
actually. I
Flag
never,
on field.
Yeah, it was Tommy C. It was Tommy C who did the Deaf Noodles thing. Or maybe he wasn't the one who came out with his age? Tommy C reacting to Papaga in Deaf Noodles debate.
That was a year ago.
I just want to see them yelling at each other.
Two guys.
Oh no. I just want to see Papaga yelling at Deaf Noodles. Papaga Deaf Noodles. It's still available? It is. It is.
kind of.
Can you be one? Well, Dennis.
Yeah, I just want the a classic right here. A classic.
This is a really something. Dennis, have you ever Dennis, have you ever loved somebody before?
Nicholas.
Oh, Nicholas, you're
Yeah, man, I don't fucking know.
no, don't.
Oh my god.
This is a really something. Dennis, have you ever Dennis have you ever loved somebody before?
Nicholas.
Like, here's the thing. That's a genuine question and is like a real question, but that's not the kind of question you can ask online. Asking that question online, like, it's gonna get laughed under the table. I love that Nicholas Diorio just goes, "Yeah, I don't know, man."
Oh, Nicholas, you're
Yeah, man, I don't fucking know.
no, don't. This is like a really dishonest thing. No, Dennis, this is a really good question. Have you ever been in love before?
Okay, look, let me finish.
Dennis, do you think that if somebody that you loved told you that they were violently raped, that you would?
Okay, we don't need to get into it because it is genuinely serious. So I understand what he's trying to do here, but I think this is when Papa Gut realized that he needed to kind of calm down a bit with his reactions, and that's why it's like it surprised me how he's been flying off the hinges a little bit recently, because I do think that he realized from this that he didn't get through in the way that he was trying to in this conversation because it is such a serious topic, but the like it all just devolved into that basically.
I interviewed one of them, said this guy is
I clicked on the wrong video now.
I never actually stated my age. I never actually lied about it. That's the whole thing. It was just online at advice from this.
People trolling me about my age have no idea they literally freed me for something I didn't want in the first place.
Exactly.
So you were, but you knew that there was an understanding that you were younger.
Yeah, I knew that the famous birthdays page had a different age.
Like many people.
You know that you told the famous birthdays people to put your age as younger.
In Hollywood on the advice of management.
Yeah.
So you were pretending to be 22, but you were 37.
No, this is when I first set it up. I think that by the time that I posted this, I was probably like, it probably said 26 or something. This was before I had a following.
26, but you were 37.
I don't know. The timeline is like funny. So I don't know. I don't even know what year that was tweeted because there's no year. And I've been banned on Twitter for so long. Who knows? And by the way, it should be stated, like, there's no advantage outside of, like, just me trying to get work as a younger actor. I look younger than I do. Even now, I'm in my 40s, but I consistently get told that
Just to clarify, I said I didn't want my age published. Taylor pressured me to give her an age, asked if it could be published as 20-something.
And I also,
you know what's, I will point out an irony? That Taylor is such a fucking phony baloney. She's the one that lies about her age. She's old as hell.
Yeah.
She's old and lonely. But I think it's ironic that that she's the one pressuring you. But you did ask her to say you're 20-something.
Well, I specifically told her, and I actually released a recording around that time that showed our conversation. And she is asking me about my age, and I say, look, I just don't want it published. I don't know how it's relevant to the story. I've been advised by my management to just not have my age out there. And she said, okay, can I publish it as 20-something? I said, you do whatever you want. So, and it's actually a recording that I put out at the time.
So you are giving the impression you're younger on advice of your management.
Yeah.
And also you're obsessed with gay people.
Okay, new poll going up. Who does Deaf Noodles sound like? Does he sound like Tony Soprano, New Jersey AB, a man whose tongue is too big, or a child playing politician? Start the poll.
Oh my God, dude. This is kind of a dishonest misframing here that you're doing.
I'm being a little bit.
You're being.
I am.
It's very dishonest. It's
no,
like,
I am. Granted, I'm not. I don't actually think you're a pedophile, right? I'm just making a point. I'm just making a point that people could see it that way.
Damn, I didn't even realize the first poll I did, it got 117 votes. Shout out everybody that voted. 59% said Ethan won. 28% said it was a net loss for everyone. 9% said the people of California won. And 4% said Deaf Noodles. I'm surprised by that number, I've got to be honest.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I just said I don't think you're. And I admit I'm being dishonest.
Like you're just like jumping straight to conclusions.
Hold on. I say I'm being dishonest and I don't think you're pedophile. I'm just making a point.
There's two different things. I don't hate gay people. And number two, I did that on advice so I could get more work. That's literally what people do. I mean, there's so many. You look up how many celebrities have lowered their age so they can get work. I mean, it's just normal.
You were doing like Kitty Bop, like drama vlogging.
Was doing Kitty Bop drama
Not
vlogging?
Kitty Bop, but you were appealing to a younger audience. You know.
I don't know.
How come you always wore a UCLA shirt? I genuinely thought you were in college. Because you were always in a UCLA shirt.
Yeah, so the whole like look around the character.
I guess him and AB have like a similar like timbre. Is that it in their voice? Kind of like the similar like in that way. They don't have a similar speaking pattern, but I guess the voice itself is somewhat similar. But here we're gonna skip ahead now, just a little bit. Oh yeah, here's the kitty ears. Here's what we really needed to see.
The way you frame it, it's just so.
You're sitting in a Minecraft house.
I don't want to call you bad faith, but it's a you're like
you
teetering
can.
on a little bit bad faith.
You know what?
Hey, I think I'm the one who said you can't be calling anybody a pedophile when you're dressing up like this and you're in your Minecraft bedroom. So I'll say it. I'll say it. It's a bad look. What? What's wrong with it? There's a lot wrong with it. So it's odd, especially if it's just a character. This is all a facade. You're saying this was a facade for something underneath. Seems insidious.
I'm in full disclosure. I know.
We have a title and a thumbnail, kind of. Here, let me pull it up.
Oh, that.
Okay.
I'm being bad faith. So I don't want you to feel like I'm actually trying to characterize you in a way that I don't believe you are. I'm just trying to make a point.
I get it.
But you're in a mind.
Oh, yeah, because it's the see you next Thursday. See you next Thursday live. Number 133. Wow, there's already been that many. Crazy.
Minecraft house. You got the kitty ears on.
Can I
You're wearing the UCLA
can I explain
shirt.
the whole point, the whole thing around it? So I was shooting these. I had this kitchen area.
I honestly just I don't believe him when he says that it was all a character. I've got to be completely honest. Because his explanation for it being a character also doesn't make any sense. He's like, it was all a character, but all of these things happened kind of by accident over time. Oh, my headphones broke, so my girlfriend let me use her headphones. Oh, the glasses made me look like a pseudo-intellectual. The UCLA shirt fit with it. What? I just don't believe that at all.
Area in the back of this small apartment that I lived in West Hollywood at the time. And I didn't have a proper area to film. So I set up a green screen very much like you guys did here. And part of the thought process was like, okay, a lot of people have their bedrooms behind them. I don't have a bedroom to showcase. So I just looked up the first bedroom picture. One of these was like a Minecraft image. And I thought,
do you play Minecraft?
No, I don't. No. And I thought, okay, well, that could be funny because a lot of people do play Minecraft, so that could be funny. The kitty ears, they were actually...
I do not believe that he just looked up a bedroom. One of the first ones was Minecraft. No, it wasn't. I'm sorry, that's a lie. Did he look up bedroom background? Even then, still no. Sorry, I'm like trying to make sure that nothing weird pops up. Yeah, like what are you talking? I just don't believe that at all for 1 second. The glasses are a Simpsons reference. Oh yeah, I forgot that's what he said.
Headphones, and you can go back in my older videos. I had different kitty ears. That all started because there was one day I just had regular headphones, and one day they broke. My ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I bet if I look up Minecraft bedroom, it'll probably come up. Minecraft bedroom. He does play Minecraft. We need to do a reverse image search on this background to figure out where it's from. This is from his private world.
She had left her headphones at my place, and they were like these stupid little headphones with like they were actually like bear ears, and the audience reacted thinking it was funny. So I was like, okay, I adopted that, and then I started adopting like the whole like cat in a Minecraft house thing because it tied together, and then the glass
that also doesn't make any sense. How does that tie together? The Minecraft house and the cat ears
were more like a reference to The Simpsons of like, you know, when Homer Simpson grabs like the glasses out of the toilet and all of a sudden he thinks he's like this genius. So that was a reference to that because I'm saying these like sarcastic and just dumb things.
Why are you always in UCLA shirts?
Because I'm actually a fan of UCLA.
I genuinely thought.
I'm sorry, that's just such a weird thing. Like I understand being a fan of the college you went to, or even being a sports fan of a particular college. But like, why are you just like, I love it? I don't know. You know their film program? It's great. Doesn't UCLA have a film program? Like, I don't understand. What are you talking about?
You were in college.
But then just to tie that back in, the college, I didn't.
I'm sorry, but looking at this, I don't know how anybody was convinced that he was some little boy. Am I wrong? This is clearly a man in his 30s. Like, yes, doesn't have many wrinkles, and he doesn't, like, his skin is clear. This is a man in his 30s.
Wear college stuff all the time. It was a sweater that was left in the old place I lived in. It was a UCLA sweater, and one day I saw the whole thing. I was like, oh, this is great. I'll look like a pseudo-intellectual. And that's
a college student. You think college students are a pseudo-intellectual? I feel
there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them that. Oh my god!
Just in case, for old time's sake, we have a pair.
You're gonna pimp me into doing this?
He looks 17. He looks like he just turned 17 when I look at this image.
The glasses out of the toilet, and all of a sudden he thinks he's like this genius.
Mm.
So that was a reference to that, because I'm saying these like sarcastic and just dumb things.
Why are you always in UCLA shirts?
Because I'm actually a fan of UCLA.
I genuinely thought you were in college.
But then just to tie that back in, the college, I didn't wear college stuff all the time. It was a sweater that was left in the old place I lived in. It was a UCLA sweater, and one day I saw the whole thing. I was like, oh, this is great. I'll look like a pseudo-intellectual. And that's
a college student.
Like, I'm sorry, you could tell me that this is like some 45-year-old Filipino woman, and I would like 100% believe it. I'd be like, I wonder what she talks about.
You think college students are a pseudo-intellectual? I feel
there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them that. Oh my god!
Just in case, for old time's sake, we have a pair.
You're gonna pimp me into doing this?
You want to put them on?
Oh my god!
Sake? You don't have to. But I'll put, yeah, let's see.
Here, you want me to do it?
I'd love that.
Love it?
Let's see it.
Oh my god,
Let's see what happens.
Hey,
maybe you turn into a Power Ranger or something.
Oh, jeez, that's so gay. Plus, you got the pink ones.
Yeah, I know you used to do blue matching, but
yeah. Just this would be so funny if like once I get elected into Congress, like you'll have
come
this.
Out. It was all an act. I am actually deaf noodles.
No, it's not gonna happen. But it's just funny that imagine if Trump had something like this.
Yeah, I mean, he's raped people. That's way worse.
Okay, well, I was talking about something silly like that.
He's like, you think I could be like Trump if I wear these? What are you talking? Like, I don't understand why you brought up Trump in that moment, even.
I know. Imagine if he actually. No, but imagine if he actually.
Talking about.
He's actually a convicted rapist.
I mean, Joe Biden also technically molested his daughter too, right?
Is he convicted?
No, but
so Trump's
all these guys are pretty awful. I was talking about something light, and now we're talking about rape again.
Well, you were like, wouldn't that?
Hey, man. You bring up Trump, you're kind of opening that door, I'd say. But here, now we're going to move ahead to the Iron Cross stuff. I mean, here.
America first.
Do you love Germany?
Sorry, we can watch and put these on real quick. We do need the payoff. He does it very briefly.
My opponent uses that.
I personally don't think you're even going to make it that.
And the
photos of you. Yeah.
He didn't even want to let go of them. He's like, that way it just looks like I'm putting them. Just say it's AI. Who cares?
Yeah.
Oh, he was worried about the gel. He's like, it'll fuck up my hair.
He's back.
That's gonna get clipped.
I mean, there's already tons of photos of you with the blue one.
Yeah.
But he's back.
Well, now they have one with me with a suit and the pink. Imagine if they use that as a.
He's giving 23 to 26. Maybe it's because I'm only 24. Do I look older? But maybe that's why, that if this guy walked up to me at work, right? If this guy walks up to me and he's like, hey man, what's up? I'm 26. I just started. I'd be like, I don't know about that.
My opponent uses that.
I personally don't think you're even going to make it that deep, that your opponent will.
Oh, really?
I mean, do you?
I'm running to do it. Why would I not?
Well, because you're in like one of the bluest districts ever. Like Schiff won by a fair.
Yeah, he kept wanting to talk about this too. This like conspiracy that there's actually a bunch of Republicans. There's a bunch of conservatives that live in LA. They don't want to show themselves. They're afraid. Yeah, I thought Kaplan was at least 30. Thought I was like, 60 years old. You're a Fed. Hey, I know I look at least a little bit older than I am. Because when I was underage, I was able to go buy alcohol just straight up. And I'm talking about underage. Those gas station days, ooh, boy, did they work.
Do I love Germany?
Why are you wearing an Iron Cross hat? That's fuck. That's.
Oh, okay. Now that's a good discussion to have. So what does that symbol mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean originally?
Well, I think all denotation of it is generally just associated with like German militarism, and even today.
That is true for the most part, but I will say that there is a lot of different usages of the Iron Cross through like different like mediums and stuff. Like the biggest one I always think about is one that has been changed at this point. But the logo for Independent Trucks, the Independent Trucks the skate trucks company, it was an Iron Cross. But the reason that they did the Iron Cross for the Independent logo was because it was, why can't I remember his name? Jim Phillips. Jim Phillips created it because of the Surfer's Cross and the relation between the Surfer's Cross, or between surfers and skaters. So there's like that, and then he actually fought for a while to get the cross to be added into the Independent Trucks logo. And then since 2022, they've actually changed it to just this, which was the half of what the cross was before, to just keep the independent spelling style. But then also, Ethan also brings up the swastika and says like the swastika isn't used in modern day. And it is, but again, it's about the context in which it's used. Because if there are Indian people celebrating there's many different religions, not just Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism. I always say it wrong. There's multiple religions that use the swastika still, and I would honestly, I feel like it's offensive to go up to them and kind of, try and shit on their religion because of the context of other historical events. It's like we need to understand the context of the situations in which they're being used. But I think the bigger issue here is the hypocrisy of him using the Iron Cross after calling other people out for using the same thing. I think that that's like a bigger thing to call out, because it shows that he doesn't necessarily have any stances on anything. He just goes with whatever is the thing, the topic, the flavor of the week, basically.
It's associated with the German military.
Well, no, what is it? What's the original meaning of that symbol?
I think you can tell me, but I know the association is almost entirely German military.
No, that's actually a Christian Catholic symbol that was adopted.
Nah, man, it's just an anime sword. Well, that's the thing, right? It's about the context. In its context, it's an anime sword. But in the context of someone buying it, going, "Whoa, look at that! It's a swastika." Let me hold it when talking about fighting against my old Jewish friend. It's a little choice, I have to say.
Very much like the swastika was adopted by the Germans.
Mm-hmm.
That cross is a medieval cross that's existed for hundreds of years. And that cross also means it's just Christ on the cross embracing the world. That's why it's like that. It forms a circle. So that cross, you can go in LA today. There's a Maronite church in Hollywood that has that same cross.
I think about the manji symbol. In drift culture, it's supposed to represent the motion of drifting your car. Does that come from Japan too? Because I know they have like a big drift culture.
embedded on the side of. I'm not a Maronite. I'm a Catholic, but a Catholic is a Maronite is a denomination.
Is that Catholic symbolism?
Yeah.
Catholics wear the Iron Cross?
It's a Christian symbol, yes.
Catholics
so that's what
wear
I'm
Iron
explaining.
Cross?
You can go, there's this Maronite church in Hollywood that you can see that on the pews. In fact, there's another church that I go to, St. Therese in Alhambra. They have that where they're holding the holy water. They have that exact same cross. That's a, you know, I can also bring up.
So it's a religious symbol?
It's a religious symbol, yes.
Okay.
That's why.
I mean, even the memorial cross for St. John Paul II is like an iron cross. Again, he's not necessarily wrong with what he's saying, but again, it's like a dog whistle on some level if you're going to call out other people for using it in the past. Because, like, what do you think? And again, it's funny, too, because he points out the religious aspect of it and then gets called out about the religious nature of it.
Why I wear it. And
Why
you
not
can
just wear a cross?
I have those tatted on my arms.
You're not supposed to get tattooed if you're a Christian, if you're a true Christian, right? Getting tattoos of cross are technically going against the Bible. So if you want to come at people because you're like, I stand for the biblical definition of marriage. I'm against abortion because of what the second canon has to say, not even the actual biblical canon, really. It's like, come on. It's ridiculous. It is all ridiculous.
So there are different forms of crosses. Yeah.
Right. So you just collect them all like Pokemon.
I just love Jesus.
Yeah. But there's a clear connotation to the Iron Cross.
I mean, you see what I have there? It's iron sharpens iron. On the side of the hat, it says Deus Volt. So it's...
Wouldn't you want to, especially if you're running for office, avoid any potential, like, insinuation of, like, Nazis or German military?
I mean...
Isn't the Deus Volt thing like also like Nazi? That's like crusade shit, right? This does feel like it's probably some Nazi propaganda now. Okay. Because it's the thing of, yes, it's Christian, but it's like fucking, yeah, it's from the fucking first crusade. Bro's buying crusade merch. And he's like, what? What's the problem? But I'm pretty sure Deus Volt is co-opted by Nazis. I don't know if Ethan caught that. Yeah, co-opted by modern neo-Nazis, far-right, and white supremacist groups as a rallying cry and hate, a symbol of hate. So that mixed with the Iron Cross definitely feels a bit Nazi to me. Again, it's about the context, really.
I think this is kind of a double standard because Mamdani goes up there and talks about the Quran. I can represent my...
Yeah, Hegseth has the Deus Volt tattoo, too. Yeah.
Philosophical
that's not
ideology.
The Bible. That's the Iron Cross. There's a lot of
That's a
baggage.
cross that represents Jesus. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's been...
You're not, that's like saying you go up and talk about the Bible, which is different than going and wearing an Iron Cross that has a ton of baggage as a symbol. Like a ton.
Yeah, and I would agree with that, too. And again, I think that the swastika is a little bit different because it is also a religious symbol. But specifically, the Iron Cross, there are other forms of the cross to use. And using this crusade imagery just feels off. It feels weird, unnecessary. Unnecessary, if not anything else.
So let's talk about immigration. You have a pretty strong stance on, like, I still don't have access to this doc, but I've seen, or here, I think I have... I don't think you make a secret of it that you're pro-ICE and you're in favor of these kind of strict immigration laws. So tell me about why you support ICE.
I support border enforcement, and ICE does interior removals.
Mm-hmm. But do you support their methods?
I do not, no, actually.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Because there's a video of you, which maybe you guys can link me. Oh, I have it, of you kind of... Like, here, I'll show this.
Yeah, play the clip.
Yeah, I will. I don't even need to describe it. Let's just see what you...
Well, by the way, there's a longer clip of that, but we can talk about it.
We can pull that up. So this is Alex Preddy, the guy that was
shot,
murdered, and there was a big story a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So here's your take on it.
Now, for clarity, Alex Preddy is seen in this video screaming at an ICE agent, "Assault me." before spitting on an ICE vehicle and then kicking its taillight. And that alone completely undermines the carefully constructed narrative Democrats are trying to push about.
So you claim it's a carefully constructed narrative that he's a victim.
Yeah, I don't
Do you
think
believe
he
he's
was
a victim?
I don't think he was a victim. No, absolutely not.
So then you agree with their methods in this case?
No. Now you're extrapolating to put words in my mouth. So here's
what methods do you disagree with?
I don't think immigration enforcement should be playing out in the streets in the manner in which it is. Now, the problem with the reason why it's happening is sanctuary laws, right? The sanctuary laws in different states is breaking the cooperation between the state and the county, right? Like we see that play out in California. The state and the county aren't cooperating with federal law enforcement to do these sorts of removals. Back before sanctuary laws, they used to go into prisons, right? Somebody would get arrested, for example, right? And they would check their immigration status, and they would call ICE over to do an investigation and determine whether that person should be, removed or not. It was something that played out in prisons, not on the streets, right? And it was safer, and there was a judicial process around it, right? Nowadays, because of sanctuary laws, because that cooperation has been broken, that's why it's playing out in the streets, because there's, especially, especially with the way also our bail system is working, where like you see this revolving door of people just like committing crimes and just leaving, right?
So you think
this is another perfect example of what, if you go check out their after show, the After Dark show that Kate and Harley did, they pointed this out too, that it is just fear mongering at the end of the day of trying to get people to think that things are terrible, but without actually articulating a method of fixing these problems. Like, he completely just full stopped that point there. There's no solution, there's no anything. He's just going, this stuff is bad, I'm gonna fix it. Bro used the word extrapolating so much, I swear he just learned that word for real. I think it's because Ethan said it early on. Ethan said it to him early on.
It's a necessary evil of what's playing out.
No, I think.
Well, how should they do it differently?
I think we should repeal sanctuary laws.
But like right now, what should ICE do?
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean,
practically.
They're following the laws that were written by Congress.
Right.
By the way, AOC loves to talk about how awful ICE is. She has the power to go into Congress and change those laws and change the way ICE operates. They're following the laws that they've written. So
you do. So again, you're doing the.
I didn't know it was that simple. AOC just goes in there and changes the laws? Oh.
Law thing. Because you're saying you disagree with their methods, but you won't say what.
I mean, they're literally following the law as it was.
But what methods do you disagree?
Again, trying to just appeal to the law is so weak. Because the laws are in place for a reason. Explain if you agree or disagree with the purpose of specific laws. You clearly disagree with things like gay marriage, regardless of if you're willing to uphold the laws. Yes, I would hope that you don't try and go work around the law as a politician. I would hope you help enforce the laws as they are applied. But it's just so weird to only just fall back onto the law. Well, I'll just follow what the law says. Isn't the whole point of becoming a politician to, I guess for conservatism, it might be more to uphold the current laws, but there's obviously going to be things you agree and disagree with. I gotta admit, Ethan, lately the beanie work has been making the hairline look chopped. You gotta work this out, buddy. The beanie look it's a good look, but this isn't it right now.
Agree with. Well, you said you disagree with their methods. You shouldn't be playing on the street.
Yeah, you shouldn't be playing out in the streets. Yeah.
So
I think we could reduce a lot of the violence if it were, if it went back to being.
But what should they do now? Let's agree that that law, the sanctuary laws are bad and should never been put in place. But here we are. So what should ICE? How should ICE be enforcing now? Are they doing the right thing?
I mean, I don't want to see any American citizen shot if that's what you mean by the right thing. No, I don't want to see anybody shot.
Although this guy. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
I didn't say he deserved to be shot, but I did say this guy's an agitator. He's a clear agitator who was there days before. you see him kick the side of an ICE vehicle. I mean, don't you think that that's somebody who's like unstable, who's like attacking ICE vehicles? That's not something normal people do.
Can I ask you a question?
The media frames these folks as though they're just like innocent people who just got caught up in the crossfire. But he was there days before, attacking ICE vehicles. It's not what normal people do.
Because when you watch the video of when he was killed,
yeah,
he wasn't being provocative or violent. He actually had his hands in the air. So something he did a few days ago.
I think no, that's not what I said. That's an entirely different situation. No, that's what happened days ago. Is to illustrate.
Well, if he was
what
killed
he
on
is.
that day,
He's an agitator. The day he got killed, well, that's a whole other scenario.
Agitating. So then why do you bring up?
I mean, he was obstructing justice. He got in between a federal agent and somebody that they were stopping.
Her up. He had his hands.
No, he got in between. You watch the video.
Death sentence?
I'm not saying it's a death sentence.
Do you think the cop that
but
killed
how
him
often
should be charged?
I think there should be a full investigation. Yeah, into exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that if any sort of guilt is determined any sort of way.
It's just such a cop-out to just say, let it play out in court. Then we'll figure it all out from there. Yeah, I have to say, most of it is really, truly just a nothing burger. They talk about ICE for a minute.
If it's determined that he shouldn't have fired the gun when he did, then yeah. Yeah.
You cannot give a singular opinion on any of these things. You're just going to wait until the facts come out. Good to know. Then they had some tech issues. Oh, Ethan Klein is pushed too far from Gokunaru. I knew it. And then he talks about the Republican Party for a minute. They talk about the Super Bowl too. This one I just don't care that much about. Like, yeah, he's saying stupid, ignorant stuff, but compared to the other racist, ignorant, homophobic, anti-Semitic stuff he said, it's kind of just par for the course. He doesn't want to explain anything. He doesn't understand what a joke is. He doesn't understand what subversion is either. That was another thing he didn't understand fully. Because he kind of understood it. Because he was saying it's a subversion of what happened. It's an inversion of the things that happened. Because, the subversion is, they had this great event that everybody loved. But what if instead the joke is ICE arrests him? Yeah, okay, I cannot find it funny. I can also think that it's not really a joke. But even if I want to accept that it's a joke, like, what is the premise and what is the punchline? Show the Nate part? Oh, I don't know if I have that part timestamped. Which part do you mean specifically? The part when he asked Nate about the because I have a few more timestamps after the Super Bowl part. Did Nate have something he said during this? Because I thought he said something about at the end about not voting for him. Oh, it was the deportation thing. That's what you're talking about. He said so much shit during this. It's hard to not just watch the full thing, but I don't think I could truly handle it. Here. Oh yeah, it was at the end. Okay, it did happen at the end.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'll deport you as soon as I get in.
Oh,
that's probably why he doesn't.
That's not helping.
That's probably why he doesn't.
Obviously, it's jokes. It's jokes.
If you could,
it's
we ain't
jokes,
cool
Nate.
like that, buddy.
I won't deport you, okay?
But so Nate, how can he get your vote?
I don't think he can.
At this point, probably not, because there are a few more things he says throughout this. The only person that was in his district that's on the crew, it seems, is like, nah, I'm gonna have to pass on that one. The one part that did get me was the fact that he just did not understand the Goy
You called
slop.
the halftime show. Let's see here.
Oh, it was slop.
No, that's not what you said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't stand on anything he says, so the conversations about it are pointless. Yeah, like them talking about his remarks about the halftime show are just pointless because he doesn't even care about it being a joke. He's just like, oh, it's a joke, I don't know. It was nothing, I just didn't even think about it when I posted it. It's like, yeah, and that just shows that you have this, like, this bigotry that runs deep. Oh yeah, where you just called Nate the Mexican. Here, let me get through these other timestamps real quick because they should be starting soon. And then we can show that too, because yeah, he just said the Mexican. Yeah, the Mexican. And Nate literally says, "Yeah, I'm more than just a Mexican."
It's never been more evident that Americans aren't buying this sort of goy slop.
What's goy slop?
The fact he laughed at it too, like, bro.
It's a term.
Do you see how you're not defining?
Yeah, and terms have definitions. They have an explanation for what they mean.
Your terms?
It's a term. I mean, we all know what the word goy. I'm a goyim, right? Technically.
So what is goy slop?
Not...
But what does this have to do with Jews?
I mean, it's not technical at all. You just are.
What does this have to do with Jews?
I mean, it's not necessarily referencing Jews, but it's
then
talking
why
about...
did you use?
I don't understand. I think that he is just being like obtuse. You are talking about a specific term. Goy slop. Slop made for goys. The implication there is that it's made by Jewish people for goys as slop. The slop is made by the Jews for the goys. The fact that you can't even understand that that's the thing you're saying, it's a term. What?
Use the word goy.
Because it's a reference to... So in that term, in and of itself, there's a power structure, right?
What's the power structure? You're saying Jews over goys. That's the power structure, which also isn't the inherent nature of Jewish people and their views on goyim.
Within the term goy,
a true schmuck, you're right.
And how Jews see Jews and goyim, right? So I'm talking about a power structure of the elites and the people consuming it.
I just want to say
now,
for the
by the way,
record-
I'm not saying that the elites are all Jewish. I'm just saying there's nothing to define that. What I'm saying is that there is a dynamic. No, I'm just referring to the dynamic.
By the way, just to correct something you said, goy is not a derogatory term. I know a lot of people.
And then I think Ethan he fucks up here because he explains that the term goy isn't necessarily derogatory, but then he goes on to try and express that calling it goy slop is basically the equivalent of using a slur against Jews. And I can see how someone as dense as Def Noodles wouldn't understand the context of that. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious what you're saying when you say that. The term doesn't come from anything other than being anti-Semitic. Because you are saying, and they explain it to him very clearly, it is content or food, some kind of product made by Jewish people as slop for consumers that are non-Jewish that is meant to, in some way, deplete them of energy or resources or something.
There's slurs?
That's a slur, goy slop?
The way it's used, yeah. So it's used as a racial term that's used to insult. So slur.
It's used to insult Jewish people?
Goy.
Well, I'm defining a power structure. And this is also after they gave him the definition too, so it's just absolutely outrageous. And I do like... Oh wait, I had one more.
I'm not scared to answer it.
Sorry, I had this one too. Oop, sorry.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Sounds like you're not sure, because you said they have a work visa.
My dad was here working for Deloitte.
That's not a green card.
What is it then?
Do you not know what a green card is?
What's a green card? I don't know.
That's really... that's interesting.
It's funny too, because when someone is ignorant to this level, they try and play it off like, I don't know, tell me then. Sure, I don't know. Just tell me. It's fine to actually not know something if you're willing to learn. But it's clear that he's not willing to learn and just wants to try and push this ideology.
anything that you.
Well, explain it to me.
Well, it's just the legal status. You can live here.
Yeah.
It's not a work. It's not a work
visa.
It's a full legal residential status.
So there's a difference. Okay.
There's a big difference.
You want to talk about ICE enforcement, talk about the goy slop. Yeah, when using the term goy, it's all about context, yeah. And trying to explain that to someone as dense as Def Noodles, I do definitely feel like is a difficult feat nonetheless. But yeah, he doesn't understand anything. He's quite literally the parent, like the child of immigrants, in a way, you know. They immigrated for a time.
Okay. See, I'm not above admitting that there's certain things that I don't know to the fullest extent.
Mm-hmm.
But that's something that you should understand. Like, I'm sorry, I don't understand all of the ins and outs and the designations between work visas and green cards and like all of this different stuff. I don't understand all of it. But you should, as someone who's looking to be a politician, and also someone who's, again, like a first generation. Or first, would he be first generation? First generation complicated, I don't know. Yeah, the not knowing what a green card is was crazy for a guy who makes such a big deal out of speaking about immigration. Yeah. Well, it's speaking about immigration, and then again, also being someone whose parents were working here, like who were living here on a work visa. The fact that he doesn't understand the ways in which his parents were here and then don't have legal residency, and you know what I mean? Like, it's like, do you not understand that at all? Have you not talked to your parents about their time in the U.S. and like, because he explains it very briefly and says that his family was working for a specific company. And so his dad got to be there for a certain amount of time, and it just so happened to line up with him being born in the U.S. When the rest of his family wasn't, and like it's just. I bet he thinks a green card is something you can buy with Robux. I wouldn't put it past him. I've got to be honest. But then this is the next one.
Right? You're scared of the Jewish cabal?
So, should I be scared?
We'll find out.
You're Jewish.
Depends on your answer.
He seems so serious here. This was so funny to me. He seems so serious. Should I be worried? You are Jewish.
Sure.
Depends on my answer. Will my life be over? Am I gonna?
You know who he sounds like? This is gonna be so niche. Only a few of you will know this. The Papa Gut fans will probably know this. He sounds like Dantavius. It's the Jersey thing. It truly is. He sounds like Dantavius.
Be labeled an anti-Semite depending on the answer?
That already happened from the Goy slop.
Oh, okay, so I'm an anti-Semite.
I mean, you definitely have a blind spot.
Well,
I'd say.
how could I be an anti-Semite and be talking to you and respect you? We're having a respectful conversation.
No, I don't. I said you have a.
Yes, if you have a black friend, you cannot be racist. If you know a black person, you can never be racist. There's a fact for you. You can never be homophobic if you know a gay person.
First, the patient was rendered unconscious using electroshock therapy.
Sorry, this is a video about lobotomies. Crazy one to jump into. I was trying to show what Dantavius sounds like.
Popular YouTuber Dan
Sam waved the guy off as a disgruntled employee making shit up, and he had receipts to back up that claim. You see, Bayou's books were audited yearly by a third.
Yes, but Dantavius is funny and endearing. It is a similar voice, though. They do. Are you an Ethan fan? I don't know. Who's asking?
A blind spot. I don't think you're anti-Semite. I think
Okay.
you have a blind spot.
Well, I appreciate that because there are a lot of people that are going to run to that conclusion and label me an anti-Semite. I'm sure you're aware.
Well, I think you made the point. Like, we're sitting together and we've been friends. We've had a respectful relationship. So I don't think you consciously hate Jewish people, right? I don't think that's anything that goes. But like I said, I just think you have a blind spot where you think saying goy slop or something like that is just like harmless.
Okay.
Right.
How is he gonna? He said, okay. He basically did that. He went, what are you gonna do?
But what's more American than racism? Right?
You can get another dap up.
Let's go.
Clip it and ship it. Clip it and ship it. They dapped up over racism.
Oh. Let's go right now.
There you go, Ethan. There you go. Did I hurt your hand?
I caught on your watch.
You caught on my watch?
That's
I'm sorry.
a big-ass watch, by the way.
And then they just start talking about watches. And actually, that is all I have. That is all the clips that I have. If you want to go check it out, definitely go look and watch through the whole debate if you haven't seen it already. And go check out the conversation that they had. I think they only did about an hour, maybe an hour and a half of the debate. They didn't show any of it. It was basically like how I was at the beginning of this stream, where I was just in my I was just like this. They didn't show many clips, I don't think, from what I remember. But they had a pretty good conversation, pretty thorough conversation about Deaf Noodles and the topics at hand. But I actually do have to leave now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that they haven't started yet. They were supposed to start already. But it was a members stream nonetheless. So what I'm going to do is send you guys over to somebody else for now. For those who aren't waiting for the H3 members stream. I'll see who else is live. Who is live right now? Redirect. You know, I'll just throw you guys into Papa Gut for a minute. Papa Gut, go check him out. Okay, thank you all so much for watching. This is Captain Quasar, signing off.